The Super Bowl has been played. The Seattle Seahawks have won 29 to 13. New England is throwing their tea into the harbor, and definitely nothing else happened at the Super Bowl or during the Super Bowl that divided the world even more. But until that next snap of football is played, if you don't count the preseason, we will be waiting till September. And if you're like me, we wait till August. That's our Super Bowl as Browns fans. But we'll get to the Browns as we are ranking the 2026 head coaching hires that will make their debuts with their current teams, and some making their debuts as head coaches in the NFL. There is 10 hires. A lot of them are very young. Unfortunately, my team doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, but again, we'll get to them. Let us go right down to the head of the New York Jets. Just kidding. New York Giants. I don't know why I can't do that. The New York Giants head coach, not so much a surprise that he got fired from Baltimore after, just for some reason they always seem to choke away good rosters, great rosters, and actually okay defense if you ask Madden, which again, Madden stopped giving the Ravens great defenses, even though they don't fucking go into real life. But John Harbaugh, 180 and 113 in his 18 years as a head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. That is a 61.5% clip, 13-11 in the playoffs, won the 2012 Super Bowl with the last bits of Ray Lewis. Now, for the Giants, they have Jackson Dart, they have Abdul Carter, who will go into his second year. Actually, both of them will go into their second year. They have Cam Scatterbo, also in their second year. They have some good pieces to build around, and they have a high draft pick. I actually like this hire for John Harbaugh. I also like this hire for the New York Giants. Will they funk it up? Will they have an owner by the draft if they don't make him sell it? Steve Tisch or whatever his name is was in the Epstein files. Doesn't matter. John Harbaugh is a good coach. It's just can he stop getting in his own way? Or was it really just Lamar Jackson's fault? We don't really. Well, I mean, John Harbaugh was a good coach without Lamar Jackson from 2018 to 2017. That being said, I think John Harbaugh is a home run hire for the New York Giants. I think he'll be able to get them out of their own way. They've been in their own way since Ben McAdoo at this point. And honestly, Tom Coughlin was mediocre as a head coach, but I think they'd have Tom Coughlin back if you'd give them the option of him over Joe Judge, over Ben McAdoo. And honestly, I don't even think Brian Dable was the problem. It's Joe Shine. Uh, and I believe Harbaugh will get the opportunity to build the roster that he wants to coach. That's why he's getting all that money to go all the way to New York. Number two on my list, I have the actual surprise. I was not surprised that John Harbaugh was out in Baltimore. I was surprised that Mike Tomlin decided, after winning the division, to just either resign, retire. Is he done? Is he not done? Who knows? But it's Pittsburgh, man, at the helm now for Pittsburgh. It is the if the Steelers are the most average team over the last 10 years, the most average head coach of the last 10 years is now coaching him. So I guess it fits perfectly. Mike McCarthy, 125, 77, and 2 in Green Bay in 13 years. He was fired with one game left. And he was 49 and 35 in Dallas, winning, actually going 12 and 5 in 3 of those years. Just the last year kind of blew up. And Jerry Jonesed him right out the door. So I don't think Mike McCarthy's a bad quarterback coach. I I just think he's a bad head coach. He got carried by Aaron Rodgers. I think we all know that. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going back for another year, which is crazy. So Aaron Rodgers, I guess, recognizes his success was with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy realizes his success was with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers wanted to get away from him, but now they're back together. A true love story, if you will. I just don't like this for Pittsburgh. Unless they get someone that they can develop, will Howard be the guy? Will he not be? Will they draft someone? I sure as hell hope not, because I'm sick of the fucking Steelers. I'm actually sick of all of my teams in my division. Please stop trouncing the Browns. I do not like this hire whatsoever. Uh, again, really, I'm gonna go mad. This doesn't do anything for me. It, I laughed at the time, and again, then my team did what they did. But Mike McCarthy is up there in age as well. This is probably a short term deal. I can't see him lasting more than 7 years at most. So I believe Mike McCarthy, it's kind of a bridge hire. Then the Steelers will probably find their next guru. And this is the first time they're also going an offensive head coach. So that's crazy. I don't understand this. I don't think Mike McCarthy is a better head coach than Mike Tomlin. I really don't. Um, I I foresee a 7-win year with Mike McCarthy maybe getting fired after 1 year and then Aaron Rodgers retiring. That's me being hopeful. Actually, me being hopeful would be them going 0-17, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Next up, a guy that I know oh too well, Atlanta's very own Kevin Stefanski. Actually, he's from Philly, but he's now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona has some pieces. Uh, I don't know what they have on defense after their star linebacker slash edge. Pierce decided to do what he did, but Bijan Robinson, probably one of the best running backs in the game. Tommy Reese also follows Kevin Stefanski. I should have put him here too. Um, they have Michael Penix, maybe. They'll probably draft a QB unless they really like what Michael Penix is, even with all the injuries. Kirk Cousins definitely getting axed. Uh, apparently before the league year starts in March, so that will be interesting. Kevin kind of got a bad rap at his tail end. I think more so roster construction didn't really fit with his wants anymore, and I think this year he kind of just quit. 45-56. Not really so much a yeller. Kind of just a calm voice that'll whisper in your ear and tell you what you want to hear, and do what you don't want him to do. Run right up the middle on first down, maybe second down, and a really stupid play on third down. That's what he was known for here in Cleveland. Really, just minus the 1 year with Baker and then the floozy bits with Joe Flacco. 2023 was one hell of a year, and 2020 was one hell of a year. Other than that, Kevin Stefanski had no good time in Cleveland. The the Deshaun Watson deal ruined Cleveland. Uh, he'll be forever known as the worst trade in NFL history. I don't think it's fair to Kevin Stefanski for him to be the face of that. I think it's Andrew Berry and Deshaun's face. But Stefanski didn't do himself any favors. If he didn't like it, and Andrew Berry didn't listen to him, then I guess give him some slack there. But he didn't coach the roster, whatever was left of the good bits of the roster, to their full potential. The O line was bad the last 2 years. No running game. Quinshon Judkins is really good. Um, Our wide receivers did not get any separation. And, he's an offensive genius. You have to do what you do best. You have you were supposed to be a quarterback whisperer, and I think Shador can be a star in the league, but you apparently hated Shador so much. I'm shitting on him now, but I like this hire for Atlanta. I hope he does well because he is a kind guy, but I would have liked him a little bit more if he just showed a little bit more emotion on the sideline. Um, let's see. I don't think it's a meh hire. I don't think it's a home run. I'm gonna say improved but slightly. I don't think he's above Raheem Morris. And I honestly think they're at the same level of coach. I could be wrong. Kevin Stefanski has 2 Coach of the Year hires, or wins, rather. So maybe he is an upper echelon. Who knows? He brought the Cleveland Browns to 2 playoff appearances. Should have been to the AFC Championship game. Thank you, refs. But, you know, I really just think they're not. I think he's a better coordinator. We'll see. All right, moving on. Arizona, Mike LaFleur. And that is the brother of Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. We don't really know much about Mike LaFleur other than the fact that he is, or was, a part of the Rams organization. Really, I like this for the Cardinals. They're going to be rebuilding. Kyler Murray's probably gone. Trey McBride is a stud tight end. If we didn't have Harold Finn, I would want Trey McBride. Um, I I don't know. Where did you put someone that you don't really know? I think if they give him a shot, if they give him a shot to really succeed, this could be a great hire. But I have to say slightly improved because we don't know what he is. He had some great pieces in LA, but we have to be fair about this. I really think if he gets all 5 years, Jonathan Gannon only got 3, and he didn't do really anything. He kind of just backpedaled. If they can find a QB to throw to Marvin Harrison, if they can find another wide receiver, if they can find a defense, I think this could be a home run hire. If none of that happens, or only one of those, I think he gets canned in 3 years. It it that's the NFL for you. That's any of these coaches. Jesse Minter. We'll talk about him next because well, I actually think this is like a home run hire. I'm probably going to put him in great hire because we really don't know much more about him. He is a very bright and well regarded mind in the defensive circles of the NFL and in general. He was the defensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. Had a great defense this year. Part of the reason why, and honestly, them and Justin Herbert, because that O line did not do them any favors towards the end of the year when they were just basically rubble. He was the reason why they made the playoffs. So I kind of am excited for Jesse Minter. I am not excited to see the Ravens defense get back to form. I want to laugh at the Ravens. God, please make them terrible, but I think this is actually a great hire. I can foresee them probably winning the division again. If, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, who is their best defender on that team, Adofe Owe, I can't say his name, and I think Justin Matabuke might actually come back. So that's who knows with that situation. That was crazy throughout the year. Guess he doesn't like John Harbaugh. But anyway, I believe this is a great hire. I can foresee the Ravens again making the playoffs, probably winning the division again. with a weaker conference or a weaker division. Uh, and because we don't know what the Steelers are going to be, and I expect them to be meh. I expect the Browns to be terrible, and I expect the Bengals to be the the Bengals. And honestly, the Browns and the Bengals, they are tied together throughout their histories, and they're going to be tied together at third and fourth place in the division. It's just who's going to be where. All right, Raiders and Clint Kubiak. Seattle OC just won himself a Super Bowl last night as of time of recording. I could not find a Photoshop of him in Raiders gear, so I guess we are getting Saints. Maybe I don't know what that hat is, and I don't know what this picture is, but I found it. I thought it was funny, so here it is. Um, you know, good for him. Good for Sam Darnold. Good for Seattle to win their second Super Bowl. Get back basically 10 years ago when Malcolm Butler pulled off the best play in Super Bowl history, maybe. Had a good offense, led the league in turnovers. Um, but he's been in circles to get a head coaching job for a while. He gets the number one overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. He gets Ashton Genty. He gets Brock Bowers. I hope he gets Max Crosby. Um, I hope Max Crosby and the Raiders work it out because I really, really, really want to see the Raiders succeed. Just because I think the AFC West is so much fun. It's going to be so much fun the next few years if the Raiders hit a home run, and I think they did, and if they build around Fernando Mendoza. Um, but again, we really don't. I mean, I think this is a great hire. Just a little bit more than Kevin Stefanski, but definitely a step lower, if not two, than Jesse Minter. I think he will finally solve their woes in Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas, if they get Mendoza and maybe a star wide receiver in the second round or third round, unless they trade back up, um, it could be fun in Las Vegas again. They've only made the playoffs once since they moved to Las Vegas, and that was the weirdest year ever. So I believe Clint Kubiak will be fun. Joe Brady, he's been talked about. I did research on this guy. How old is this guy? Because I wrote it down. This guy's only 36 years old. It just feels like every year he has had his name mentioned as a head coaching candidate, mainly for the Bills, and he finally got his job. Josh Allen here. I think this is a great hire. Can we move him? Thank you. So Joe Brady. If it wasn't Joe Brady, I really wanted Brian Dable to go back to Buffalo and play with Josh Allen. I wanted them to play chess. I really think the Bills were close. I didn't think Sean McDermott was the coach for that position, and I'm glad they went. I'm kind of sad that it's not Brian Dable because he did help out Josh Allen kind of figure stuff out, but obviously Joe Brady was the OC when he won the MVP, talking about Josh Allen. So I think this is a home run hire, but I'm going to grade it down to great hire just for now. Just because we don't know how he's going to be as a head coach. Because right now, you may be calling plays, but you have to get your team ready. We don't know his capabilities of calling all of the team. We know his ability to call an offense. I think this is a really good hire. I'm very happy for Joe Brady. Very happy for Josh Allen. Uh, I don't think the AFC East is going to be retained in New England. I think it's going back to Buffalo. I think this was just a down year. Remember, they have James Cook and they have Josh Allen. They just need Keon Coleman if he's allowed to come back to the building, if he's allowed back in Buffalo, if his head's not put on a stick around Buffalo. They need a receiver or two. Maybe they get Brandon Ayuk if he's not a head case. We'll see. Maybe Stephon Diggs. Who knows? Jeff Hafley. I I know he was a Boston College head coach. I know he was the DC of the Green Bay Packers. I do not know anything else about this guy. Therefore, I'm putting him in. Oh, honestly, I think he's kind of fucked. I think he got this by default. I don't really think anyone wanted the job. I think Mike McDaniel did a great job, but Tua's not the head. Tua's not a great QB. I think those days are over. Jeff Hafley, if he can turn that defense around, I don't know what even that team is at this point. I think they'll be running the tank for a few more years, and I don't think Jeff Hafley makes it out of 2 years. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's the best among the list. Uh, Second to last, we're going with Robert Sala, 47 years old. He was 20-36 with the New York Football Butt Fumbles. Tennessee has Cam Ward, has, I believe, some of the most cap space in the league. I think Robert Sala is a great defensive coordinator. It's just, can he be a great head coach? Did he get fucked over by the New York Jets like everyone else does? And I believe this is the Sam Darnold arc. I really think Robert Sala is going to break out in Tennessee. Um, just based on anyone who leaves the Jets seems to do 1,000 times better. So I'm gonna go with. I have to put him. I have to put him in improved, but slightly. Just because we have to make absolutely sure, I'm actually going to put him just ahead of our friend LaFleur. I really think he's going to do wonders with this team. If he hires the right OC, and it's Brian Dable, by the way, the same guy we just talked about who I thought was going to get the Buffalo job. If Brian Dable does what he did with Josh Allen, develops him correctly under his wing, that team could be dangerous. Because Cam Ward, I mean, give him an O line, give him at least an A receiver, or and that defense is still really good. Jeffrey Simmons is a little bit older, but I mean, Robert Sala, he's a great defensive coordinator. He'll figure it out. And they have money to spend in free agency. They have the draft. This could be probably again one of the best hires this cycle. If Tennessee does not do what they did to Mike Vrabel, and we already see how that worked. And Todd Monken, why did they hire him? Why did we piss off Jim Schwartz, who did resign? 60 years old, only was a head coach for Southern. Uh, Turned that program around in 3 years. I don't think he's gonna last 3 years in Cleveland. He'll probably get one, maybe two, because that's Jimmy Haslam's go-to. If you suck after two, you're gone, and we'll just destroy this all again. Um, is Shador great? I mean, it looks like they already basically have a bond. Basically said I would try to get your ass in Baltimore rather. Can Todd Monken develop a QB? Can he be a great head coach, or is he just gonna be an OC? By the way, he was here in 2019 for that disaster year that Freddie Kitchens had. So how much do we put on Todd Monken for that disaster year? I actually don't put any because I think it's Freddie Kitchens who called all the shots, made the game plans. That's not on Todd Monken. Was a good OC uh for the Bucks. After that, great OC down in Georgia, and great OC in Baltimore. Baltimore didn't want him anymore, so the Browns took him. So there is some optimism. We have the sixth pick of the draft, and I believe the 25th or 24th. What can Todd Monken do? I don't like this hire though. I actually, I was pissed because I was busy laughing at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is what my team gave to me. I was really hoping we would get Nate from LA, but we didn't. Um, I was hoping we get Clint Kubiak, but we didn't. I kind of wanted Joe Brady, but we didn't. So we're stuck with Todd Monken, and I'll be crying in my Coca-Cola all year. If you think I got anything wrong, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Oh, my team fucking sucks.